Good morning, Mr. Roy. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Can't believe 2025, man.
Yeah, I know, right? And we start 2025 off with some numbers this morning.
Yeah.
Effective FUD rates. Remember, this actually moved the market that one day. It hadn't done anything since, so we're still there. You had initial jobless claims came in at 211, forecast 221, previous 219 from the revised 220. Continued jobless claims was actual 1.844 million. Forecast is 1.89, previous 1.91, revised is 0.896. So looks like, and your secured overnight financing actually went up. So that was, let's see, did we see a pop in the market this morning on that? At 7 o'clock? No, not really. So they didn't seem to appreciate it then. We are diving pretty hard here. This is interesting.
Yeah, kind of the opposite of what you saw overnight. It was.
What are we doing here? We break down through VWAP here?
Potentially. Globex had some fireworks. I actually didn't watch it. I was watching the blowout of Ohio State, Oregon, but I saw on Twitter somebody said, "Oh, futures are melting." So then I looked, and they were melting. They recovered nicely. Good morning.
Happy New Year 2025. Hope you're all doing fine. We're doing great. Doing fantastic. So hope you're doing great. Hope everybody had a safe New Year's Eve. I had a little eventful one, but it was fun. So there's that. If I saw any of you the other night, hey again. I handed out I think I was telling everybody about our YouTube page. It went to a little bar, like everybody in there heard about it. So
nice.
Trying to grow the brand. This is a pretty strong move down here, though. This is interesting. VIX popped over 1735 now, so we're definitely getting a decent move down. You got volume coming in on this candle too for the time it is.
Well, you kind of look at the pre-market action. I'm kind of looking at it now in the last few candles. You had a candle by candle to the upside right on data at 7:30.
Yeah.
And then you had a candle to the downside that's really playing out down to VWAP.
Yep. So this is we normally don't have fireworks at open. I mean, when we first start streaming. So this is kind of interesting move. I was watching it, and I actually contemplated taking it along. I was like, was this thing on hold here?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you know what? Let's be safe and not take it long and see how this plays out. And of course, it did not hold, and then it's gone to VWAP. So now you got to look to see if this holds down here, which looks like it's trying to. But that does not mean that it will. Let's see how this plays out. But it is interesting so far, to say the least. So back to, I had that data this morning, and let's see, anything else coming out? I don't think anything else really coming out today. Oh, you got PMI at 845, so that's actually a good one there. And then, of course, tomorrow is ISM manufacturing and stuff, but not really anything. You got Barkin. Is Barkin the only one that speaks like on a daily basis? I see Barkin more than I see anybody.
Yeah, Barkin is, I won't take the joke, but yes, it seems to be very
Barkin likes
very
to bark,
open to talk. Yeah, exactly. I couldn't say it, and
I'll say it. I say it every time I talk about him. Usually,
get a little. If you can get back up, that wick here right off VWAP is an interesting one. Something, but I think it'd be important to go through kind of the general market right now. So I'm going to flip over, showcase some Mag 7. Oh no, orange. There you go. So 0.5% up on ES, 0.66% up on NQ. Charts looks the same. They had that big flush at the Globex, and they've recovered up. What's interesting here is Apple is red by 0.6, Nvidia is green by 1.2, Microsoft is green by 1%, Google's green by almost 1%, 0.7, Amazon's green by 1.3, and Meta's green by 1.2%. So Tesla and Apple, Tesla's down almost 3% this morning, which is pretty surprising. I'm going to guess this is their vehicle numbers came in because now you're sub 400. You're at 392.80 now on Tesla for those that like dips. The big story overnight was crypto. Bitcoin ripping up to 96,000, but it was Solana who's now back over 200 at 207, up 7% overnight. Kind of give some context here on Solana, which is really the spicy end of the crypto pool for traders. You were at about 182 last Friday, a week ago. So big move on Solana, which means good move on coin, which on Friday, Tuesday, whatever day we last traded, I did coin call. So I'm going to move that back up into my swing position. So happy to see coin have a gap up this morning. Palantir green 0.6%, $76. Me and Monty are eyeing that one. We got a magic number we're waiting on. Being patient on that one.
Yep.
Looking through TNX, had a gap down on Tuesday and is now pushing higher today. Yeah, so you can see it's now back over 4.55. Didn't break below 4.5 and kind of right in the middle of the road here. But here's the guy, Dixie, almost 109, 108.89 now.
Lord have mercy.
As we head into the inauguration, change of administration, Dixie continues to find strength. Yeah, with that, it's pretty much gold. So gold had a rip higher on the start of this week. It's now running into its 20-day moving average, but you can see that downtrend got broken. Now this uptrend is going up, so will the uptrend get broken on the hourly? So keeping an eye on all that. So, I mean, a bullish start to the day, of course, even though this candle may look a little red. This is a 1 hour chart on ES. You can see this uptrend overnight, but if VWAP breaks, we will break that uptrend. And then do you retest these, 59.20 areas that plagued us on Tuesday?
Yeah, we're gonna watch the main thing you want to watch. Make sure that we don't crash down. Right, we're not just 59.11 spot. I mean, I know we've got a good ways to go to get there, but you can see every time it's been, it's been low, it's moved back up every daggone time. So, do we get a move down? We'd have to get this break first, 53, and then you look for 47, and at 36, and then all the way down. So, we're going to hopefully get us a nice trend day today. Everybody knows that if we get a nice trend, we can make some really good money on it. So that's what we're looking for. We're not going to rush anything. We're going to be patient. We're going to trade what the market gives us. And that is it. CBD is kind of holding up at plus 2,000. This move overnight, it shot way up. So we're going to see how it opens. It's come back a good bit, but I am leaning no direction this morning. I have no bias at all.
Yeah, same. I'm not quite, obviously it's easy to wake up and be like, oh, market's up 0.5%. It's going to be a green day. Yep. But just take it slow. I don't know if market tide will show. Monty had mentioned to me on Tuesday, I had kind of logged off told me to look at SPY at the time, and I believe it was this you were referring
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
And you can see the market didn't really jive to it until it did. It had a reaction up. But
Interesting
people
for
were
me.
buying calls in the
Look at
close.
that drop off you had right before close
Yep.
on the put premiums. And of course,
Yep.
that made the price pop. But a lot of times you see a continuation, but it's going to be interesting to see because we've had a day off since that happened. So,
Right.
does that change what was going on there? I mean, even on the holdings, look there, you had a pop on calls and a drop on puts at the end. That volume told the story on Tuesday, though. That was the
just
the volume. If you look at the SPY real quick, and just, I mean, it's the same, but it's just, my gosh, you looking at call premiums, you're like, I can't loan this. Like,
right.
and then it started making a move, and that's when I text Roy. Luckily, I had everything locked, but I wanted to go long. And if we would have went long, well, had a pop there.
You're
We
taking
could
some
have
heat.
traded. Yeah. Wouldn't have been the smartest move, but we had everything locked up, so we couldn't take a trade. So, but I ended up taking one of the. Yeah, ended up we're at $18,458 up on the practice account now. So, I think I did take a long in the old practice account. It's everything else. I got this account. Everybody, if you're curious, I want to lock this one up. I requested $1,000 payout. So I want to lock it so I don't trade it by accident. One thing about Top Step, you will find out if you do request a payout and you're actively in a trade when they go in to approve or deny the payout, they will deny the payout because you cannot be trading in an active trade while they do that. So it's always best if you can to lock an account up and trade it the next day. A lot of times what annoying part is a lot of times I've actually locked these accounts up, and as soon as I lock them up, well, they're going to approve my payout. So didn't happen yet, but it's early, and they did have a holiday yesterday, so I figured they might be backed up. But I'm hoping it gets approved today and in the bank on Friday. Typically, that's how it goes.
I'm excited if they unveil that kind of dashboard that they were doing. They were hinting at
locked out instantly.
Yeah.
I think there's some interesting stuff to come from Top Step this year. I was thinking about, so we see a lot of these others. If we, of course, I want to focus on Top Step. I want to get Top Step built up, but I do want to look at some of these other prop firms for you guys to see if they're actually worth it, what their rules are, if they pay out, all that good stuff. So we might try some. Some of these are dangerous, but the more popular ones that seem to be stable, we might give a shot to see what happens this year to change things up a little bit. But right now, my focus is still on Top Step. I'm trying to get Top Step to where they're paying the bills every week, and I don't even have to worry about it pretty much. So,
yeah, man,
that's the goal that we're working on. You don't realize one of the things that people don't realize when you go full-time trader, they're like, oh, it's got to be great. And it's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. But the pressure that is on yourself a lot of times is 1,000 times worse than anything you can see in the corporate world. Because guess what? Oh, Billy down the road who works in a different department than you do is not here to save you and make the company money. So if your company don't make money, you don't make money.
Right. And it's also trading, what I'm finding, as opposed to like if you're in the service industry and stuff, you're relying on customers, you're relying on contracts, whatever it may be. Here in trading, I mean, there's nothing stopping you from logging in and messing up, right? And pushing harder and harder and harder. And it can be almost like a bit daunting that if you do get behind, you start chasing losses, you start doing all those things, and now you're thinking about bills and you're thinking about all these other things, and it's a mental game for sure that I'm conquering each day.
Yeah, it's we don't talk about it enough. Probably it's a tough gig, man. It's funny. People from outside look in, they're like, "Oh, that's got to be an easy job right there, right? You wake up, you work a couple hours, you're happy, blah blah." Of course, they don't see all the stuff you put in the back end trying to make sure you're back testing. So make sure your
Right.
strategy just looking at charts, studying charts, and then they don't see the mental aspect of it. The mental aspect is definitely real, and it's one of those things you get into it and you're thinking to yourself, hey, this is great. I'm my own boss and this. Well, you got insurance you got to remember to take care of. You got your taxes you got to remember to take care of. And this is not, you think, yeah, okay, well, you pay your taxes quarterly. Well, yeah, but you got to have some way to keep up with all your stuff. I have a AI accounting app that I use that lets me go in and just sort all my deductions and stuff right there off my bank account, so I don't have to manually put stuff in. They ask like, "Hey, this related to your business? Yes or no?" And if it is, it goes towards your deductions and all that. So that makes that part easier. But it's still, I mean, hell, I got to go through and do it every week. And
Yeah.
anybody that runs a business, I know this is not that big of a business. It's me, pretty much. I'm the employee and all that, but the amount of stuff that you got to keep up with. Which luckily now, like I said, we got that AI, and then you can link a bank account. Back in the day, you couldn't link a bank account; you had to do it all manually, and then save receipts for everything and do all this. And to be honest with you, it'd probably be better if I did save some receipts. But I'm gonna be honest, most things I don't ever even get a damn receipt on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you do now. So, but it's a lot of different things to think about. It's a lot of, like I said, it's a lot of pressure, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I appreciate the hard work and the work I put in to get where I'm at. So I don't look back on the work I've done and be like, oh man, I hate I had to do all that. No, I did all that to make me what I can do today. So it is what it is. It's fun. It's would I suggest everybody do it? No, because like I said, it's mentally can be straining, and you got to get away and do things. That's what I figured out. The best thing for me now is like, yeah, I might look at it during the day when the market's still open until close. Some days I don't, but I very rarely look at overnight session anymore. I mean, I don't even hardly glance. Roy might send me a message like, "Holy crap, look at gold!" I'm like, "Oh, let me go look at gold, see what it's doing." But if I don't get somebody saying that I need to go look at something, I'm not going to look at something.
Yeah.
I mentally just check out, and I found that for me personally, everybody's different, but I found for me personally, that's how I recharge and regroup, is by completely shutting it off and then starting it back over. Roy will sit there and trade meme coins all weekend and stuff. He's like, I'm taking a break. And then he sends a thing like, hey, I'm trying this. I bought this one. Like, no, leave it alone. Take a break.
Yeah. Yeah. That's on my to get better at this year, is to shut it off. Don't jump from one thing to the next. Try and recharge.
Roy's proof that I remind him all the time, hey, you're supposed to be taking a break, remember?
Yeah.
We got to hold each other accountable.
Of course.
Let's see. Anything? Oh, look at that. U.S. natural gas futures start the year with the gains, with the bang. Huh. It's like we just talked about that, isn't it? It's amazing how that works out.
Yeah, it got cold quick.
Yes, it was 27 degrees this morning when I woke up here, and I'm like, no, what are you doing? I don't like this. I think I'm moving to the Bahamas or somewhere. Wait, Puerto Rico supposedly has really good tax benefits for traders. They are American. They get some tax breaks that Americans don't get. So might move to Puerto Rico.
This is a little bear flag forming here on this?
Yeah, it came up and tested that 13. Did not like that 13 at all, and rejected pretty hard off of it actually.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got this 200 and VWAT right there, pretty much on top of each other. It's got to go through. So
Yeah.
we got about 9 minutes till open. Bookmap's coming back a little more, 1,500. So hopefully we can get a reading on Bookmap or Tide or Trend or something this morning instead of being the opposite where you feel like you're fighting the trend. It's going in the trend direction, but looking at everything feels like you're fighting it. So don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. So, and what are your thoughts on the college football playoff? You had 3 games. You got the 4th one today, and then your game is today.
We played today. Moved our game back 30 minutes and moved. Thank goodness they moved that game up some because
Yeah,
that game. I mean, these poor folks down there. They probably gonna have to get another hotel room anyway. But
right.
you had it booked through probably today.
Yep.
I'm sure most people's plans were to leave this morning. Well, nope, your game's today now. So I don't know. The Texas Arizona State I thought was going to be a snoozer and ended up being might be the best game in the college playoff so far.
It was amazing.
Yes, that Scatterboo. I kept calling him Scooby Doo. That kid was unstoppable. I saw a thing that I think you'll really appreciate this. That asked NFL scout said, "What do you think about Scatterboo?" He's like, "Look, I don't know what he's going to run. I really don't care what he's going to run. You can't stop a kid, and you can't teach that, and you can't coach that."
Yeah.
That kid is tough, man. Well, he had 148 rushing yards, 99 receiving yards, 43 passing yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
Yeah. If he was in the NFL fantasy, you would have scored big time points with him. But that, and then I was really, really shocked with Oregon decided like, hey, we're not going to play.
Yeah, Oregon didn't show up at all. I mean,
Oregon
they were down 31-0.
Predicted winner, and of course my bracket exploded with Oregon.
Yeah, mine's busted. I mean, I have Notre Dame in the final, but I had Oregon winning it all. So, now, do you think it's just Ohio State being that good, or Oregon just completely, shoot?
I think it's a little bit of both. If you look at the history of Oregon, the history of Oregon says they never show up to these games.
Right. Pac-12 Oregon.
Yeah, and this history seems to be repeating itself with them this time. So you look back at that. I mean, Oregon's never won a national championship, and they've had some really, really good football teams. And it is what it is. But it seems like they run into a buzzsaw every time. But Ohio State, I think that Michigan loss to Ohio State woke them up. I think it just pissed them off, actually.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't that. I mean, it was a bad loss. Don't get me wrong. Maybe it wasn't that terrible given what Michigan did to Alabama.
I don't think you can read anything. Personally, I don't think like everybody gets excited now for bowl games. I don't think you can read anything into a non-playoff bowl game.
Yeah,
I don't think Alabama wanted to be there. There's already talks that DeBoer and Milroe are not on the same page, and if Milroe does stay in college, he'll transfer.
Hold on, I got a little guy waking up. Let me get him squared away.
Yeah, we got 5 minutes to open here, so Roy's going to take care of his kid real quick. I am going to ramble to you guys for a minute. Or not. We're still watching this level. It's not wanting to not breaking down, but it's not really bouncing off this level either. So we got to see how this plays out. Right into open. So you definitely, you're not going to I'm not taking any chances here. We're going to wait to open, and we'll probably wait a few candles after open, unless we just see something that really strong move one or the other. But right now, we're just going to chill out and wait and see. And we know this candle here can do some crazy stuff. So Dirty Harry, Happy New Year. I don't think you was on today, but congratulations on your engagement. Dirty Harry got engaged. Everybody tell Dirty Harry congratulations. Or we're sorry, one or two. I don't know which one is it, Harry. Congratulations or oh man, good luck. I'm picking on you. Let's see here. So we got 4 minutes till open. Marcus just hanging out down here. Not really doing a lot, so we shall see. No sense in rushing any trades. Chill out. And wait and see what the market gives us. Any of you guys y'all do any big things for New Year? I like that. Hey. Thanks, Bob. Going to be a wedding and a funeral all together. Well, you know what? It's the best way to do it. Best way to do it. So yeah, we got 2 football games today. You got the other playoff game, which is Georgia Notre Dame. Roy's got Notre Dame. I've got Georgia. I had Georgia and Oregon playing in the championship, so I've still got a little bit of a bracket left, even though my champion's gone. I don't know why I picked Oregon. I knew better, but you know, I let myself get swayed by all the talk about how they are the most dominant team and could be one of the most dominant teams to play college football. Well, yada yada yada. So it is what it is. We got 2.5 minutes to open. Last time I looked, hey, it was like 14 or 16. Let me see what it is now. You guessed what the spread was. Ole Miss plays tonight. See, the spread is that's basketball. Women's basketball. We ain't worried about that. So you got Ole Miss is actually a 17.5-point favorite right now. So this is the first ever meeting between Ole Miss and Duke in football. Something kind of neat they do. I don't know who does it. Some local guy does it. And when you come into town, he hand paints these signs and puts out there to beat whoever you're playing. And he'll line them up down the highway. You'll go and every couple of miles, you'll see 1 or 2 out. And of course, it's always like beat Duke or, beat so-and-so. Nothing crazy. And this time he done hand painted one down there and says, beat the devil out of Duke. Well, you go with your bad self, sir. What we do beat the devil out of Duke. Let's see. So another thing with college football you got to watch now. You're going to have the looks like the NIL deal is getting way out of hand. I mean, their quarterbacks getting $4 million plus a year and I'm saying mediocre quarterbacks at that too, not just your top tier. You had the kid from Tulane who I thought was decent. I don't think he's the greatest thing ever, but he signed with it was Duke. 4 years, $8 million contract for 2 years, $4 million per year. I was like, wow. So that's interesting. Well, a lot of people can't stand the NIL and the transfer portal. I think it's got a place in the game, but they got to figure out a way to control it a little better. Right now, it's just mass chaos out there. Kids wake up and like, you know what, I'm transferring, and they're gone. And you see kids that 4 years they've transferred to be their 4th transfer. That's insane. It shouldn't be free agency, in my opinion, but that's what it's turned into. College football has turned into a worse version of the NFL. All right, here we go. We got open coming up, and it's going to tank below VWAP at open. Does it hold it, or what do we do here? Big move so far down, but like I said, they're fighting. They're pushing it back up. CBD suggested we might get a. Let me go on the swap tide round. So it updates, even though we can't really tell anything right now off of it, but we can, well, for some reason my tide is not updating, so I don't know what that's about. There we go. It's acting a little slow this morning. I guess it doesn't want to wake up either. I guess they partied a little too hard on New Year's. I'm not seeing any numbers, and I'm seeing it changing, but I'm not seeing numbers popping. So that's interesting. CBD went all the way down to almost zero, and it's popped all the way back up to 1,500 now. So you've got a little steam in this move back up, and that could have been a buy the dip. This definitely makes us want to wait a little while longer before we decide to do anything to see what else happens. Your market tide is open as you would expect now. It's a big pop on the calls. MO imbalance came out. Wow. So the S&P 500 on the MO imbalance opened up at 435 million to the upside. The NASDAQ was negative 8 million. The Dow was plus 105. The Max was negative 2 million. That is a big number on the S&P right there. That 435 million positive. Let's see if I try to update right now. There we go. Yeah, man, you're seeing the exact same thing on SPY Tide. You're seeing call premiums pop. You're seeing your volume pop. You're seeing all that good stuff. So we've got this clusters. You got these to get past. So, right, you got the 8, 13, and 21. They're stacked on top of each other. So you got to get through this, which if you do get through that, then you're looking at 6,000 to be your next spot. Break this high to 6,000, and then if they want to trend it up, it would run from there. We got to get this break first, though. So let's see what happens with this. Even though we are looking at market tide over here and it's showing kind of moving with the market here, it's still way too early to put any kind of weight on market tide. CBD has gone to plus 1,800. This actually might not be a bad spot if you want to take a chance to see if you could pop this long here on VWAP once it broke above it. But we're going to wait and see if we get a little more trend, at least get this 5-minute orb. You know, we really like looking at a 15-minute orb, but we will see. Like right here, we're testing it. Like I said, I'm not going to take any chance. We're going to wait for it. Roy, you're back. I was telling him, I was thinking, of course, it broke down through it, but if you was to look for a long off the open, if it would have held VWAP there, that would have been a great spot to take along. But of course, it's broke back down and it's coming down now. So you definitely won't force anything. I told them definitely want to wait for this 5-minute candle to close. And we really like waiting on the 15-minute orb, really. But
yeah,
you can get a lot of information off this 5-minute orb. And we're actually getting a pretty good candle here to have a 5-minute opening orb, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they're pushing it.
There's a little trick you can do. It's called the 5-minute orb fib play. So you take your 5 minutes, you draw the direction it went, and now you look for it. If it come back to this 59.6350, you would actually short there. I'm telling you guys, there's little tricks to everything if you figure them out. And this plays out usually pretty good, but you got to think though, if you take it here at 63.50, I mean, you're looking at a 10-point move possibly if it does get back up there. So it would definitely be worth a risk if we pop back up there. Let's see where this orb, and then how you would actually play this is you play the fibs, or if you got a break one way first, you play that. But you don't want to just randomly put a order here, right? This is, we're gonna have a little more room to play with there.
Yeah, and that coincides right around VWAP too.
Yep. And if you was to play the 5-minute orb, you would have took a short there on that break.
So close to your zone, though.
Yeah. Now we're going to kill that off. The 5-minute orb, how was the play, Roy?
That was. Look at that.
It's really interesting looking at SPY Tide open. And I told them, like, can't put a lot of weight into tied off the open just because you get so much mass influx of stuff. But this with the call premium popping the way it did, now you see that volume coming way back now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your key. But watching that pop at open, you're like, Lord have mercy. But if you would have took the break at 51.50, that would have got you 9 points off almost on that move. So everybody keeping track at home. If you had 2 lots, there's your $900. That would be a good day, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you're in your zone. You got a flush.
How would you take it? How says a good trade? You take? I'm sure you did. How would it miss many? Look at the call premium pop on SPY. God,
Yeah.
very interesting. You are seeing CVD creep back up with that call premium popping too. So, is this the bottom here? Well, it's coming back a little bit now. So, it's like they had a little steam for a second and went away. Got it, but an NQ. Good job, sir. Good job. The VIX is going for 18. It's 17.99. Yep, and I forgot we do have data coming up at 8:45. So.
Mm-hmm.
Probably will wait for that before we do anything. We got
Which is
8 minutes of that, so
which is not on Market Watch's calendar for some reason, but it is on Top Steps.
yeah, I noticed that when I looked at it. I was like, "Oh," and then I was like, "Huh." But if you look at, let's see if it's on. It's on Financial Juice, and it's on. I'm assuming it's Trading View. I guess they get their news and sources from Financial Juice, because I know Top Step uses it exclusively. So, and I know they partner with Trading View on like the chart and stuff. And if you look at the VIX, you still get the same. You get these at the bottom on the VIX, except you don't get it today on this one. So I don't know. Oh, never mind. You do. It's there. It was overhead. It says it's actually coming out at 9 o'clock. So we have data at 8:45. We have.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused.
Yeah.
You have construction spending at top of the hour.
I see that. But on Trading View, it's showing that ISM manufacturing PMI at 9 o'clock. Well, we got a time frame there. It's either 8:45 or 9. You got 15 minutes to not trade anything unless you see the news come out. Then you can trade. How about that? Let's
Forgot
see.
about positions this morning.
Oh.
I'm gonna double check these. Not too bad.
Tide, your put volume it's gone red on the volume. Put premiums are spiking a little bit, but my gosh, the call premiums are so high.
Yeah, general market though, you're not seeing that. You're seeing kind of the move in the market play out. So you're having call premium dying, put premium rising, and market moving down.
Yeah.
So it is a bit of a broader sell signal. And if you look at Apple,
Holdings is giving you the same view that general market tide is too, pretty much. So.
Yeah. Apple's down 2%. Tesla's down almost 6% at 380.
Everything has come back a lot from where it was before open, though.
Yeah.
I mean, those
you're
still got the green, but they're not popping like they were. Your NVIDIA and Microsoft and everything, they're still green, but they are coming back to reality a little bit here. So,
no doubt about it. This is a strong move down coming off of what we almost hit 6,000 this morning.
Yeah, I sit there and said 51 was it. We got to 34. That was a 17-point move, just for everybody interested on what move we missed there.
Yeah. So we're actually not sure if data is coming out in 5 minutes or if it's coming out in 20 minutes. I'm not sure
Well,
what to do.
we'll all see it together. Luckily, we had
Historically,
the finals you says
uh,
8:40.
yeah, I say historically it's quarter till. Yeah, Howie agrees.
Yeah. We all agree except Trading View. Trading View's like, nah, we're gonna throw this bad boy at 9. We'll trick
Did
everybody.
you see Trading View is given options now?
What?
So if you're on Apple, this little thing right here, they now have the chain.
I guess I need to update mine because I don't have that yet.
Yeah, so you have this little icon to the right here, fourth one from the bottom.
Yeah, I don't have that right now. But let's see if we can upgrade. Maybe not. What is new? That's not new. So let's see. We might have to log out and log back in. We got nothing but a few minutes time here, so we're good to go.
Yeah.
And just so you know, if you log out, it doesn't close it down. It just logs you out, and then you get delayed data. Well, we updated, and guess what? There it is now. Boom. So we'll look at the. No, it's actually just not there. Huh. I thought it was there, but now it's not there. Interesting. We'll figure it out later. I'm not that big of a deal about it.
Yeah, I thought it was just cool to be able to look at the chain pretty quickly.
That's actually an awesome benefit. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if you ever done it. So if you click off that one real quick.
Oh, no, sorry.
Yeah. And then see the little circle there right below that one? Click on it. Here's your stock screener. It gives you an idea of things really quickly and kind of see what's happening by a lot of different things. TradingView is they stepped their up. What was the thing we used to use for this? Oh, what was the name of that?
FinViz.
FinViz, yep. And now you've got everything you need right here with TradingView.
Yeah.
This is we're not sponsored by TradingView, but TradingView, if you would like to sponsor us, we have a couple open spots.
Yeah, limited time, but
yeah, limited time. You got to rush now.
Too long. Man.
Opportunity. So we possibly have data.
Yeah, possibly have data in a minute. I would assume. I wouldn't assume strong data, but I'm not playing anything.
Yeah, I'm not either. But let's say if they clear any orders. So typically we've got 20 seconds, 30 seconds or so before they clear. Right before it goes, they clear. Look at the volume on this candle here, Roy.
Mm-hmm.
That is pretty strong volume still be this. I'm gonna tell you, we've had pretty strong volume since open this morning. It kind of surprised me a little bit. I was thinking you might see a little dip in volume today, but obviously that was not right.
$5 seconds.
And we're going to find out. Orders cleared some, so they do have it coming out now. There it is. Manufacturing PMI 49.4, forecast 48.3, previous 48.3. So there you go. The market is like whatever.
So you got put premium starting to drop, call premium starting to rise, and that volume starting to get into the favor of the bulls on the general market. If you go to SPY, I imagine it's going to be a little bit more bullish. Yeah. So you
Yeah.
get a potential push higher here. Probably the 8 and the VWAP are converging. So not
Yeah,
sure.
8 would be like a conversion. What?
Well, sorry, my ribbon here, my
Yeah,
8
you're
ribbon
really
on the.
good.
It may be the 9. Let's
That's,
see.
I mean, my 21 there, right?
57.
Yeah, I got the 8 has dropped below VWAP on mine.
Yeah, by 2 points. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, good little push here.
Yeah, the VIX popped above 18. Did not like that at all.
Good
But
little push down here. Now this candle looks ugly.
you look at these orders just popped in at 59.35. You had 300 of them pop in there.
Mm. Pretty volatile candle.
Yes, it is. I'm a little. Market tides got me a little confused here. All the tides got me a little confused. It's okay. I've been confused before. We'll eventually figure it out.
There's a pop. Tide's showing bullish reversal, and
CBD's gone to 30 now too.
yeah, it's whether the market wants to play in line. But yeah, this is definitely a bullish reversal on Tide. Now, does it hold it? I don't know.
And it's kind of like we've been here and done this before, right? Because didn't point out that 59, 36, 50 area just a minute ago. Well, you know what? It didn't like getting down below it. And if you look above it here, you got a fake out here, retest and a drop. I mean, I don't know if you could actually draw this up any better if you wanted to trade a short off that. But we did not trade, so getting back above this little zone here is going to be key. And then you got the good thing here is if you are looking upside, you do have a little separation in your EMAs now. They're not quite on top of each other. You know, it could get a little momentum to break through. It didn't have to go through so much all at once. CBD still creeping up, 3,400, 3,500. I want to see if this move is going to be, if this is the new trend or what we're going to do here. So we're not going to touch anything yet. Personally, I'm not going to take any of these breaks, or if it rejects any of these EMAs or VWAP, I might look for a short. And it would be a quick in and out, I think. But I won't look for a long until we've got to get above the 21. And then I would want to take the 21 up to the 95 area there. So that gives you room if it does get that break. That's why I preach, be patient, right? Because yeah, you can get in here and if it breaks that's a hell of a move. That's a 40-point move.
Mm-hmm.
But smart play says, hey, let's wait for this to break here. Which if that breaks there still, you can get a 20-point move or so off of it. And I don't know where you come from, but 20-point move to me is pretty decent money. So
yeah, I mean that will suffice the day's trading. That
yeah,
will make it worth waking up in the morning.
Yeah. And my deal, the reason I'm saying this, like, yes, you could take it here and ride it all the way up. But just to be a safer play, let's see. And then, of course, you get this break. You would look 74, 75. You look for this area right here to hold. You look for this area to hold and that to pop up. So that's just what we're looking at. We're not rushing the trade. And if we miss this trade, guess what? There'll be no one. CBD's gone to 6,000, by the way.
Yeah, I like a move up, but you are battling VWAP now, and so you gotta keep an eye on it. But I saw somebody on Twitter. I can't remember who, but I remember the message more than I remember the person, as always. But it said, every morning you should strive to miss the first move.
Okay.
I thought it was a pretty good analogy of basically don't rush it. Let everything kind of play out before you try to guess moves. Because if you miss the first move, you've at least got history to play with now with the volume and the session and the data and all that stuff. And you can then make a way better educated moves off of that than you are, pre-market, dead volume, previous actions, previous day's actions, stuff like that. So
this candle here actually proved my point, I think. So if you'd have took a VWAP break, if you didn't go and take your profit here, right? Let's say that you're holding for this big move up. Well, that VWAP break actually turned, you took heat on that trade, and there's a possibility you could have got stopped out right now.
Yeah.
Ideally, you would have had your stop down here, but I mean, that wasn't a bad, it lines up with this level over here, wasn't a bad spot to put it, and it came right down to you and got you and moved back up. So this is why you do have to be careful. Making an indecision candle here, really. So let's see, we still got almost 3 minutes left on it. So we got time for it to move either direction, but if you want to see more money, oh wow.
Sorry, you're getting. I mean, this is your general market. It's bullish. This is your SPY is kind of showing a little bit bearish with the volume.
So yes, so that SPY tide is kind of what's holding me from taking along there, but now it's moving on with it. So CBD's over 7,000. I mean, I'm still sticking to my plan. We're waiting on this break before we do anything, and we might take heat on this break. Doesn't mean it's going to definitely work out. So I was showing Roy, I think it was a Tuesday, we were talking about it, and I think every trade that was red for me, if I got in that same direction and waited, I think, was it 3 minutes or something? Every one of those trades worked out.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy. It was like I would get right back in that same direction, just a little bit better position, and then it would actually go way past what my stop, my initial entry was anyway. So you're like, oh shit, maybe I got my stops too tight. I don't know. I try to get a little bit to a point, but
yeah, and I mean, what you're doing right now is you're playing for that move up to the day high. You're not looking to stay in the chop, and so for you to get out of the chop, you've got to break these levels and break this, that shelf. And with at that point, that's the last confirmation, right? At that point, you're hoping CVD's lined up with tide, showing a bullish move. You've got to break out above the level, and you can comfortably enter along. And if it doesn't work out, you say it doesn't, I did what I was supposed to do. But, yes, could we have timed the bottom down there at the level that it looks like you timed the bottom down there with? Of course, but,
here's the break. And I don't know if it's going to give me an actual entry or not here. Let's see.
Your point of control right now is right at 68.75, which is that shelf. So,
well, let's put the order on 68.75. And like I said, it might fill it, might not. It might run away from me here. And you could always chase it. I'm trying to do the right thing. Oh my gosh, it's tied over here. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, tide's
give me a pullback here. Come on.
So now you got tide way up. This is general market. You got the holdings, you got SPY showing the same with put premium now below the zero line. Holdings got a huge push up in premium now. All three tides are matching a move up, which is really what you want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, it's running. Oh, we got it. Good.
Yeah, we're in on this one twice, actually. We're on this side too. This one, oh man. Well, that's a Debbie Downer. CBD is almost $10,000, and I'm tempted to move my stop back down here and leave it down here, but I don't want to let this trade turn red. So if it does stop me out here at $100, I'll re-enter an appropriate level. But we're going to try to. My goal is to not lock these out so much. So yeah, I can get a $200 right now. Call it a day. I don't want to call it a day. I'm gonna see if I can start building this up somewhere instead of a couple $100 a day. We're trying to get $1,000 a day. Something like that. So this is not playing out like it looked like. It looked like it was fixing to take off and run for the woods on us here. Yeah. You actually had the VIX actually gap down before the move down here. So VIX is showing a little bit of strength. It's down to 1720, got to 1716. But yeah, I want the big move. I'm sorry. I might need to put it there. A $2,300 day on this would be fantastic, wouldn't it, guys?
Whew.
This one here, I'm gonna pull it down a little bit because this one is a little bit different. Probably should take $500 on it, to be honest with you. I was there, but I didn't. Oh, well, here's the trade. We're in the trade, chilling, hanging out. CBD is 10,000, by the way. You had a little pullback in your SPY holdings. SPY call volume and a slight dip in the premium, but the call volume is kind of what it's concerning me a little bit this moment. CBD is right at 10. It keeps going right at 10 and coming right back under. So it's not breaking out. So this might be the move here, folks. This might have been it. 9,700 is coming back. CBD is coming back. If we take a red trade on this thing, I'm going to be so pissed. We did get out of this one, so we got $100 in that one. We're going to actually enter back here. Oh, I should have waited just a tad bit more. Give it a little bit of room here. It actually did not stop us out of that one. It got close, but no cigar. Now, CBD's kind of back up again, but your call volume is what's worrying me here on the SPY tide.
That kind of came down.
Yeah. Now it could bounce back up here, but if it doesn't, you would expect with this move that we do get some kind of continuation. Now, do we sit here and flag for a minute and then break up? Absolutely possible. Flags have been playing out over and over and over again. So, this volume is, it's back. It's wanting to go back to the zero line, which is not good. If we can get any kind of pop on that, it should send the market higher. And this, are we getting it now?
Push up.
Oh man. Look how close it got to taking me out. That one hurts a little bit, fellas. That one hurts a little bit. What is all this news coming through? This is a lot of Bitcoin and other news. So sometimes when you're you get all this news coming through. You're seeing a little pop here again in the volume. You're seeing a pop in the premium. So are we lagging or is it going to be the leader here? CBD is above 10,000, 10.1. So it finally broke 10,000, but it's not running away. It's kind of, I want to see that number start climbing, get 11,000, 12,000, and just keep moving up. And then the market goes with it. And that's when you have a fantastic trend day. So, oh boy. Oh. This one right here, this might be I might be my nemesis here. This one might haunt me. You got what, 2 ticks away there?
Yeah.
Now they're pulling all these orders down. 30 dog. 10. It's still CBD's holding 10,000. So that's a good sign.
I was gonna say Tide is, though it's kind of cooling, it's still doing its thing. I mean, it's definitely not in put's favor, but doesn't mean you can't get a 7-8 point drop quickly.
Yes.
But it's definitely in the bull's favor. Looking at Mag 7, you've got Nvidia now up 2.5%. Nvidia is your leader here, pushing everything up. I mean, Meta is doing it too. You just need Apple to kind of get a little bit of momentum upward, and you'll be good. I mean, Tesla is also dogging a bit, but I mean, you got some of the big boys are up pretty good. I mean, 2.5% on Nvidia and 2.5% on Meta is not no small feat. So
you are definitely right on that one.
So if you can just get a little bit of momentum on Apple, I think you're eating good in the neighborhood.
Applebee's.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be Applebee's?
Yeah.
Well, we're on the CBD came back. It was running a little bit higher than 10. Now it's back to 10,000. So you're getting your SPY Tide volume is creeping back up, but your premiums are coming down a little. Like we said, volume is the key on that one if you're watching it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have, we saw it the other day, your call premiums were really up, but you looked at the volume, your volume was in put's favor the whole time.
Yeah.
Till right there at the end, and you start to see a little bit of a move, the very slightest little move up, and then you saw premiums pop. But right now, and that's more general market Tide. It is insanely strong there now, and that's go to
this
SPY.
Is holdings.
Holdings. Yeah, so SPY is the one I watch all the time. I keep it on SPY, and I do swap back and forth some to see what's going on. But I think SPY is the important one you're watching because one, this is what we're trading, right? So you want to see what's going to happen with it. General market Tide can kind of give you an overview of like it says, I mean, the general market, but you want to you can't put as much weight in it, I don't think, as you can as the SPY. But you can actually use them all together to get really good information out of it. So
yeah, definitely.
CBD came below 10,000, 97.
Don't like to see that.
I don't either. It's holding 97, 98. So I mean, if it pops back up, what's fun is when you're in the direction that CBD is moving in, and you look at, and you go from, all right, there's 10, there's 12, all right, 11, and it just keeps moving. And you're like, that's when you see that move, and I do not suggest that anybody ever chases anything. But when you see that move, you can almost chase it. You know why? Because it's telling you, hey, they're going to buy this thing all the way up.
All right, we take it there.
$800 on that account.
Nice job.
We are going to go ahead and lock this bad boy.
Nice job.
We are up a little over 800, about 1,000 up on this one so far. So you can see where I'm actually going to move this up. And I'm going to actually move this up. So We're guaranteed $500 in this trade. It might come back and get us, and if it does, we'll look to re-enter down here again if it looks like it wants to hold. This is what stops me out a lot of times and gets me out of these trades. I move my damn stop too tight. And then, of course, it moves in my favor. But, I mean, crap, we got $1,000 day right now. So, and this is just in 2 accounts, boys and girls. Have they done anything with that one? They still, yep, they did it. They approved it. Done, out, ready to go.
All right.
What a day.
Pushing higher.
What a day.
I have not touched my XFAs, but I'm building a combine up pretty good right now.
We are guaranteed $1,000 in this trade. And it's going to start us out here probably. There it is. 1,000. We're 1,088 up on the day.
Beautiful.
I want to be the guy that goes for more. But then I just got through telling you about how we run a business. And the smart business decision was to lock this bad boy up at $1,000 today. So overall, today, thank you, Dicker. Dick's a good guy. The crazy thing about today, today is probably our 2 biggest wins off a couple trades.
Yeah.
We've had bigger days overall before, but I mean, I'm gonna tell you, we're right at $2,000 in 2 accounts today.
Yeah. That'll do it.
Lock me up. Now we can sit back and, you know what? Let's see if we can grow our practice account by doing the same stuff we were doing here. This is what I'm showing you guys. If you're going to use a practice account, use it exactly like you would an XFA or a combine. That way you're getting used to doing it. Now, I've said this before, your emotions are completely different. But I try to mentally, what I try to do for me to make this more interesting is I do all I can do to forget it's a practice account. So I don't YOLO or do stupid stuff. And then you'll be surprised. Sometimes I get a little feeling in my chest like, whoa, this practice account got me a little feeling.
And the tingles?
Well, one of the things for me, I'm super competitive.
Yeah.
I don't like to be wrong. Who does, right? But I pride myself on being able to read a chart and do the thing. And when I'm wrong, it really, really pisses me off. So even if I'm on a practice account and there's no money there, it's still like, oh man, I can't be wrong on this. No, no. But occasionally I have, because it was 69. No, what was it? It was 68. Then we went up. Well, we lost the other day, Roy, and then got right back above it again right after that. Something like that.
Yeah.
But other than that,
That's an interesting candle. This,
I'm gonna tell you,
candle
I glanced over CBD creeped back to about 10. Slowly inching back up. It's 10.5 now, 10.4, 10.5, just slowly inching back up, which tells you, it's not telling you there's a bunch of people coming in, but it's telling you the people that are staying in, they got a little power to them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you kind of look at the play here, and you broke VWAP.
Go to your SPY tide, pull SPY tide up real quick.
Let me get over. Yeah, volume. Yeah, so I think you're gonna get a drop here, probably to about 71, 71.25, and then it'll be interesting to see if it'll get that bounce from there. This would be about this area of all this clusteredness, and also point of controls right there as well. So,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, what a move, right? What a move! 59.34 to 59.85.
So
50
have
points.
you ever heard of Neurogum?
Mm-mm.
Joe Rogan talks about it a lot, and he's actually not sponsored by them, but he says they use it all the time. So I don't want to be sponsored. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. But it's supposed to be, so you've seen the movie Limitless, right? Where you take this pill and it opens up like your brain, like what does it say? You use less than 50% of your brain actual potential.
Right.
So kind of on that same thing, this Neurogum is supposed to be like similar to that, where you just chew this gum and it's like an energy gum, but then it also helps open up like your brain.
Okay.
And I was watching a thing on it, and I did a lot of research for it, actually, but I ordered it. Came in when I was out of town, so I got to go outside and get it out of the mailbox today. But supposedly, like the tests and stuff they ran on it, and the benefits of it are just ungodly. Like it's like really crazy. Like, so if y'all see me super sharp tomorrow, no, I'm using Eurogum. And if something happens, I seem really dumb, well, I'm using Eurogum. So
I was hoping you were saying, I've been chewing on it all day.
No, not yet. No, I'm taking a nap today. I don't need to take it yet. I got the last 48 hours. I got like 6 hours of sleep.
So this was like not juiced money. This trade.
Yeah, the normal coffee is all I had.
Yeah,
I ain't even had a Coke this morning yet.
Man, I hadn't had coffee and I've done pretty good. Maybe that's the problem.
Oh, well, maybe they change things up a little bit, huh? Everybody that doesn't know, his son's at home, so Roy's doing daddy daycare.
And
this morning I texted him. Roy's usually on 15 minutes, 10 minutes before we hop on. Roy hop on. I'm usually on waiting on Roy. And here he comes in, or he'll send me a message. Hey, let me make my coffee and get a donut or something like that. Anyway, 7:51. I text him like, "Hey, you hopping on the stream today?" I'm just sitting there by myself, looking like, "What? Thursday?"
I think everybody thinks it's Monday.
Yeah,
I've got the case of the Mondays this morning, but
in Roy's defense, like I said, he is doing daddy daycare, so I understand 1,000% exactly what all he has to do. So it was no joke. If he'd have said, "Hey man, I'm busy and I can't do it," I probably got on here and talked to y'all for 2 minutes, and we'd have had a very short stream today.
Yeah, no, it's the stream's too important to do. I mean, my son loves it because he gets away with murder here with the while I'm on here. I come out and I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna walk out to. Candy wrappers and video games and all sorts of stuff, but that's all right. He goes back to school next week, so get a little bit of normalcy again.
We're gonna get this break. I think that we could have held on to this and got the move that I was wanting to get out of it all the way up that top, which would have been a $2,000 on one account day. But I can't complain on what we did. So
no, you played. Let's kind of go back to it. I mean, if we kind of revisit this, your entry was not way at the bottom down there. I mean, your entry, you waited for this thing to break through all of the all of those resistances.
This move, missed all this move. Which look, this level right here, this first candle off. If you didn't get in here, this should have been an entry here. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. And I'll tell you, if you look back, you take this level here. Yeah, so see this little. You broke above this level. That would have been a good take, or you could have broke above this level. You could have waited till it broke above the zone, but you had all these entry possibilities, right? In my mind, and I think I tried to do a good job explaining this. Like I was like, yes, you can take it, you can get all the way up, but I wanted to be safe. And to be safe, you had to get this break of all this. Because it very easily, you could have got in like VWAP break, and then it comes right up and comes straight back down and it dies off, right? And then you trade. And we got close to both those trades actually turning red. They got 3 or 4 ticks away from hitting the stop loss. And then this bigger one, this one actually hit a stop, but we had it, moved up. But This just showed a safe play. You had this break, and I think I actually got in like right here. The smart thing to do would have waited for this retest here, and I would have got a little bit better entry, and you could have rode it up. But I think I did what I wanted to do, and I traded the way I want to trade it. So you can look at all this, and it means absolutely nothing to me now because I waited for this break and I got it, and I got the move I wanted to get out of it. And I told you I wanted to go from $200 a day to $1,000 a day. Well, first day of 2025, there's $1,000 in one account. So
bang bang. So one of the things that kind of shows me and tells me is you have to remind ourselves that we are dealing with very leveraged account or very leveraged positions here, and so you can make a lot of money waiting. You don't have to rush it in and get the full move, right? Of course, you could have made magnitude more money, but you could have also lost quite a bit on that. And it's wait for those confirmations because you are playing with very dangerous instruments here that 6 points it goes against you and you got 2 lots. I mean, that sets you back for the day quite a bit. Especially when you've been nicking it for about $200-300 a day. So that you just ate up 2 days, 3 days worth of work in a 5-minute candle. So
yes. Look, we talked about this earlier. This is if you want to do this full time, this is your business. You got to run this like a business. You got to figure out a way to take your emotions out. And I think one way to take your emotions out of the trade is to wait for a safer trade or wait for this. And then look, if it stops you out, it stops you out. It's what you have a stop. The frustrating part is you gotta make sure you don't get too down. If it stops you out, then moves back in your favor. That's what it gets you there. So you got to figure out a way to run this like a business. So if I had, let's say that Roy works for me, and Roy had a chance to take $1,000 or the hold for more and then end up losing trade, would I want Roy to go and take that $1,000 and put it in the bank so we're guaranteed at least that money day? Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why you'll see me, and I talked about it, I've got to work on probably getting a little better with it. But I move my stops too tight. But I want to trade up to guarantee. I hate the worst feeling in the world is to get up $500-600 and that trade runs against you and in turn you lose $400 or $500. That's $1,000 swing.
Yeah.
You don't see it like that in here, but you're like, well, I mean, I only lost $400. Well, no, you were up $800, so you lost $1,200.
Right.
And one thing with Top Step you can do, you can't do with some of the other ones because they don't have a trailing drawdown or actual live trailing drawdown. Is I think Roy would last year. I had a trade and I forgot I actually left one trade on, and I had a stupid stop loss and take profit. And this thing went all. I remember texting Roy. I was like, "Boys, I almost messed up because I had this move and I forgot about it." Well, that thing went, and once I went back and looked at it, it went $1,500 red, and then hit my $2,000 profit. So that was a $3,500 swing that I never saw. But my point being there, though, is you can Top Step. You can't over leverage. Let's put that out there first. But if you want to go with micros or a couple micros here or there, you can actually get a couple micros and hold the whole move, and not have to worry about taking your stops and give it plenty of room to run. So
yeah,
CBD is coming down hard.
Got a candle by candle to the short side here.
And it gave you a little bit of green to get in, which if you look at it now, that's on that clusters. That's actually a great entry spot. Let's go back to the practice account. And we'll do this the same way. So if it breaks VWAP to the downside, we'll wait to see if it retests or reclaims it. And then we'll take a short from there with this. We do one thing we do on this account, on the price account, we trade 3 lots at a time instead of 2. That's the only difference, because that's what I trade my combines 3 lots at a time. Unless it's the 150K, then I go 5 lots at a time. And then my ultimate goal is to build up these XFAs and possibly go live one day, where you're building that up, you're trading 5 or 10 lots at a time. And if I had 5 lots, that $1,000 day goes to $1,800 a day or whatever. So
looking at Tide, you're getting a cool down in the call premium on the general market. You're getting this dip. You're not really seeing a huge move on the volume. So
yeah, so you got a SPY. Look, you're sitting on SPY though.
Yeah, so you
got a big drop off. Mine's a little. Yours is wider than mine, so mine looks a little more steep. Yours does.
Yeah.
But you had that drop there.
You're getting probably test this bottom Bollinger Band. Your orb low, which is also daily low, 59.34. Looking through Mag 7, you got Apple rejecting now. Definitely the weakest of the Mag 7. Nvidia rejected, coming down. Microsoft, same. Google, Amazon. Meta showing a little bit better strength, but still 2 red candles down. And Tesla not looking good.
Give me a couple minutes here real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. So looking at your Mag 7, you're getting a cool down here. You're going to VIX. You got a big green candle here on the VIX. So the high of day at 1820, then came all the way down. That was that big rally back up. So you're getting a strong move down. I mean, that candle by candle there, giving you right at the orb high, giving you a potentially good entry if you're quick. I mean, you couldn't have gotten right to the orb high, but you could have at least looked short. And as it broke down through VWAP and all these other lines, could have played it. And I mean, this is a strong move down, no doubt about it. So, excuse me. We'll see if this bottom Bollinger Band holds. If not, you're going to look for the orb low, which is about 15 points away. Looking around the market. Excuse me. We got TNX coming down a little bit. Just a hair, 4.53. We got Dixie holding its gains. I mean, this is historically not good for the market when the Dixie is up this high, the dollar. And we'll look at gold. Gold was a nice move up, holding its gains. We got energy up 1.45%. That's normally inflationary, so you got to keep an eye on that. Let's see. I'm just kind of browsing around the market, seeing if anything makes sense. Not so quick to play a bounce here. Obviously, those are 2 strong candles with volume. Look at the volume there. So not trying to be a hero and play the wick, but if this can get some kind of consolidation, move up, back up to VWAP, breakout, you can definitely look to take a stronger move up. Not looking to make a move down with flow. Flow is trending like the market wants to go down, but this volume is still pretty elevated on general market, and your volume's kind of flattening out after the drop from the SPY. Holdings wise, similar approach as general market. Your premium did come screaming down, but yeah, volume is trending down, but not to the degree to which the market is selling off. So keeping an eye on it. And if you did get caught in that drop, that's okay. Hopefully you had a stop. If you didn't, don't double down, triple down. Just make the play, reset, do it again. See where a setup comes. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, this stuff is
Look
not
at
clear where we go from here.
the private chat real fast.
Yeah. No problem.
We're having some issues outside of our control.
Yeah, no problem. I hear my boys playing Madden, and I can hear him pausing, which normally means he keeps
Is this
switching
coming here?
teams because
Oh.
he switches teams because he hates playing defense. You wanna get aggravated? Watch that kid play Madden.
So what do we do here, Roy? Do we get to VWAP and reject, or does it go back up?
That's kind of what I was pointing to. I was saying there's not really a clear direction here. I mean, you look at your tide. I mean, the volume does not match. I mean, yes, you got to drop off in volume here, but you're still well in charge on the call side. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to. You're gonna have to give me 2 more minutes.
Yeah, do you just push up higher again? I don't know. I mean, I think that the VWAP is the key. That's 5 points away. I mean, that's 200 plus dollars away. So it's not right around the corner. It's still big enough where you don't really want to just chance it. So this could easily just kind of grind around here, but you are below VWAP. So again, gotta have those confirmations come in. I think the big one that is going to hurt the market. I mean, Apple obviously hurting and Tesla down is hurting. So you got to have some momentum, positive momentum come into those two for this thing to recover. Because people have piled into your NVIDIA, your Meta today. But you'd want to see Apple join that party ASAP. And this wick is not turning out very well on this candle. You got 2 minutes left in it. That wick at the top. Oh, excuse me. I did not get enough sleep last night. Yeah. I'm kind of in no man's land, so stair step up. I mean, I guess you could say you got an elevator up, an elevator down here. Really, elevator down, elevator up, elevator down. And now you're getting a pretty bearish candle. So if you can break this Bollinger Band to the bottom, then it goes. Let me pause real quick.
I am back. I heard him go out, so Howie says that I've had a couple great trades today, so I'm calling it. Flying back to Mexico in a few hours, so should make a happy hour. Howie, you got to stop bragging, dog.
I know. I mean, this is just ridiculous.
I'm sitting here and it's 30 degrees, wind blowing 40 miles an hour, and you're talking about a happy hour on a beach.
Yeah.
Damn you, Howie.
He's like Vince Vaughn from Bad Monkey. That's how I picture it.
Does he throw stuff at the house?
Yeah. Hey, his day job is he's an inspector.
In Mexico, of all places. Right?
Yeah, Mexico.
That's ironic, isn't it?
All right, so you're at.
Yeah, I think this thing wants to dive down, so it never got to VWAP. And this is a practice account. We're not said we're going to treat it like we treat a regular account, so we're not just going to go short just because I think that we could see more downside. So what we will do this time is we will wait, and your volume on your SPY tide is coming back down some, but you know that big move up, that volume went really, really high.
Mm-hmm.
That was a huge. If you look at just the volume from its low day to high day, that was a big swing, and 10, 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking for two things. We would want to see a test of the 8 VWAP area here, or we want to see this 3650 break and then give us continuation down. You got orders sitting right at 40 right now, so 40 would be a good 40 break. Might be. They just dropped them down to 59.35. So this thing looks like a drill. And you got a slight uptick in call volume. Make that make sense. Only thing I can figure out is with the way it moves down, you've got gamblers popping in. Maybe is that?
Yeah. Yeah, buying the dip. They're just trying to buy the dip, trying to guess the bottom. But that 40 level now compromised.
Yeah. So now what we're going to watch. We're waiting to see if we get this break and if we either get a retest or break off of it. So patience is the key. And let's look if we do get that break, since we are coming after to test it. So your next spot would be 1750. So if you do get this break, you're looking, you could get a 20-point move off this if it does continue down. So this is why I say when you're looking at stuff and you're like, oh, damn, I missed this spot right here. Look at this. I could have took this all the way down. Well, just be safe, you know? This break, we still got 20 points to take here. You take one lot of 20 points, that's $1,000.
Yeah.
And that's being safe with one lot. You can look this area. This is why we didn't want to just take down here. Look, it's holding. So
yeah, still got halfway through this candle.
Do what?
Still got halfway through the candle, so you could get a nice wick off of that.
Yeah.
But
as of right now, you've got a candle by candle to the downside.
Yeah.
Now it's getting weaker by the longer this wick is, the weaker this move could be. But if it even closes down here, you typically to see a good strong candle by candle, you want to see this candle close below 45.50.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to see it close below this previous low candle, or you just play another way that way. So if we get a close below 45.50, which we're right here on it, well, then I will play a candle by candle off this to the short side. But we've got to get this close below this first.
It's fighting.
It is fighting. You got to give it some credit here. It's not, I mean, that was a strong move. What, 10 minutes of just downtrend?
Yeah.
And kind of caught bottom, but are we flagging here? You know, what are we going to do at this point? We've talked about this over and over again the last few weeks. These flags have played out over and over and over again. You look at this one, you're like, well, this flag didn't play out. Well, yeah, but it broke down. It never gave you an entry spot. So, you know, if you was to play a flag breakout, you're waiting for it to break the high.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we never got that break of the high, so you never would have went long on it if you were playing that way. So, and look at this thing come back up. We were talking about this, but now it thought they were going to turn it green. They still might do it.
They may still do it. You got 25 seconds.
This is crazy. So, folks, you see where your dip buyers are. They're right here. Here they are. Get this break to the downside, then you should get a very nice move down. That's why we're patient. Oh, want to welcome. We haven't seen Cashy Apps and Dickard in the stream for a while, so guys, thank y'all for coming back and joining. I know everybody's been hectic around the holidays and stuff, and I definitely get that. We have too, but thank you guys for coming back. Of course, Howie and Dirty Harry, we can about set our watches. You guys being here, we appreciate that.
Yeah, always.
2025, we're going to make it the best year ever. We're going to grow this stream. We're going to grow this industry. We're going to all become better traders. That's the goal.
Have a good time.
if you ever get to the point where you're cocky, don't trade.
Yeah, don't touch anything.
That is when you mess. That's when you will lose the most you can lose. So I try my best to wake up every morning, and I thank God for waking me up and for giving me a chance to come down and do what I got to do. And I've made that a habit the last. You don't always do it like you should, but I think the last 4 weeks or so, I get up and I'm thankful for I'm here, and I actually say it out loud every day. And it makes me feel better. It makes my day a lot better by me doing that for me. So find something that does that. You wake up. Like I woke up this morning. I'm not going to lie to you. I woke up. I was like, oh, I don't want to get out of bed. And I had that negative thought for a second. And it's a very small negative thought, but that negative thought, it grows and it messes your whole day's messed up. Because the whole day you're like, oh, I didn't want to do that, and blah, blah, blah. And if you have a losing trade, well, I definitely don't want to do it. You see what happened after that. I shouldn't have traded, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you wake up and you feel like that, do something to get out of that funk. And that's what I started. So what I do, I just wake up in the morning and I get that funk. Well, I start saying, all right, well, I'm thankful. And I start naming stuff I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for my kids, thankful for my son, thankful for my family, thankful for my friends. I'm thankful for this or that. And you're like, next thing you know, you're actually in a really good mood.
Yep.
And it's just you're positive affirming yourself. Because guess who controls us at the end of the day? We do. Roy, that
was an interesting candle. Well, it still is an interesting candle, but it popped up and it got faded fast. Wow. I mean, that was a 10-point fade in a matter of seconds.
All right, we're going to give it that room. This is the room we're giving. So we'll risk a little more. I don't want to do that much. We're going to risk the top of this candle. If we get a move down. And you remember when I tell you the candle by candle, even though this did go up above there, where did we close at?
Mm-hmm.
Where did I say we had to close at?
Yeah.
We closed after all that. We closed right where I said we need to close at for me to take a short. So, will this trade work out? Hell, who knows? We're gonna give it a little room to run and see if it does work out. And like I said, this is a practice count, but I would trade this the same way on any other account. So, is it gonna work well? Actually, probably I would have my stop probably here, but I'm gonna give it a touch more room on the practice account. So I'm trying to work on where I need to put my stops at. So oh boy. I think I heard you say you didn't get enough sleep last night.
No.
Yeah.
I'm playing around with AI stuff and getting excited about doing some developing again and learning more and more little things about it. Pretty interesting stuff. I mean, it's definitely going to take over. It's going to take a lot of jobs, and it's really sad, but I don't think there's any stopping it at this point.
You say that, and America's got a way of adapting and making new jobs. Because if you look back in the day, nothing was automated. Everything was made by hand. Well, now you got more automated than anything. But guess what? Somebody got to push the button and make sure it's doing this right thing. So
yeah. No, I agree. I think there'll be a shift, but there will be jobs that are not as readily available. So,
well, I've got a buddy who's an accountant, and I was like, "Are you not worried that?" Like, I think it. He's like, "Well, no, accountant, you got to have somebody punch the numbers and do whatever." I'm like, I don't know if you've seen. Like, I use this AI accounting thing out, and it is fantastic.
Yeah. I'm gonna go get donuts. Okay, we'll go get donuts
right now.
Yeah, maybe not right now. Can you give me like 15 minutes?
No, 2.
How about 20 minutes?
2.
How about an hour and a half?
2.
Hour and a half.
2.
2 minutes? No, I'll give it 2. Oh,
10.
20 minutes.
10.
30 minutes.
10.
Do you even know how to count to 10 minutes?
10.
All right.
10 minutes.
I'll come get you. And now what he's going to do, he doesn't know how to count, but he doesn't know how to count to 10 minutes, but he'll have Alexa set a timer so she does it for him.
One thing to notice here, you got a little pop in the call volume and it come back a little bit, but CBD, got about 10,000 and it's been holding this 5,000 mark ever since.
Yeah.
Ooh, but I'll tell you, if we get this break here, we should get a runner down. We got to get that break. And this has been the spot where they have all been at. So let's see if they're still here waiting. Does CBD finally break 5,000? It's at 5,000 right now. 47.
So probably a retest of 40 and then a drop again.
You got orders at 45. 30 is a big spot down here, according to Bookmap. They start moving these orders down. The thing is, here's what's kind of getting me. 50, 59, 60 area, not just 59, 60, but that area.
Mm-hmm.
There's 537 orders sitting up there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Right here, and then you got 363 of those. That's 1,000 orders sitting right there in that little 3-tick position there. So I don't know if we get the drop here. You can see it came right down below and bounced right back up. I'm going to tell you, if this was a Combine or XFA, I would probably go and cut it down here. But you said put premium with a little pop over here. Interesting. CBD's 47, 46. It broke that 5,000 level, but it's not really running away with it either. So we could have took 800 bucks or so on that trade if we wanted to. Do it again.
Yeah, you got a minute left in the candle, but again, it had the pop, and it's just.
Oh, we got to do something different. I want to take that and it's $666.60.
Oh yeah, no, I can't do that.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't believe in stuff like that, but I don't tempt it either.
You're respected.
Are you superstitious? No. Well, why are you doing that? Just in case.
Yeah, we respect it.
Never know.
We can acknowledge it.
Well, I'm all about what works. A lot of times, I don't know, Roy might have picked up on this. I will reverse psychology in my trades. So if you ever see me in a trade and you hear me pointing out everything I should be out of that trade, it means I'm trying to reverse psychology of that trade to move in my direction. That never works, by the way. And we're going. Look, we shouldn't have went back short there. And the only reason we did go back short there is because we were at $666.60. So
yeah. The wicks down here, you suggested you got quite a strong support.
You say that the wicks up suggests that they're pushing right back down. So
true.
Which wick is lagging, John Wick or? So I saw this thing about John Wick. I thought you'd appreciate this. I meant to send it to you and I forgot. So there's some actress, and I forgot her name. She's popular, and I can go back and find it at some point. But she put $6 million of her own money. So there was a action movie that she thought was going to be fantastic. The studio was in the process of making it, and I guess they just like, hey, we don't have enough money to put in this. We can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Put $6 million of her own money into the movie that ended up being John Wick, started the John Wick franchise.
Holy cow!
Yeah. So John Wick almost never happened if this lady did not put $6 million of her own money up to fund it, to finish the filming of it. We never would have got the John Wick movies.
Such
Which
a
are
good
some
movie.
of my favorite.
Yeah, just so good. I mean, it created by was directed and written by if I'm not mistaken, Brad Pitt's stunt double. What's his name?
Really?
Yeah, what's his name? Wait. Director. Chad Stiletzky. Yeah, he was. Yeah, that was his his debut into filmmaking was John Wick.
Okay.
And he was Brad Pitt's stuntman, I believe.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then he went on and he wrote Nobody. Did you ever watch Nobody?
No.
Dude, Nobody's great. You would love Nobody.
Let me look. Who's in Nobody?
Yeah.
Nobody?
Bob Odenkirk.
Actually, I did watch that. Yes, I did watch that. That was actually surprise. It was sneaky good because I did not see him being an action star.
Yeah, they're making a Nobody too.
So we went down the rabbit hole last night. My buddy was asking us, so your top 5 movies of all time. I was like, look, I cannot break it down to top 5.
Yeah,
but I can give you a list of my favorite franchises because I love movie franchises. So 2 of my favorites are John Wick and The Matrix. The Matrix, I wish they would have left the last one out, but the other ones are fantastic. That's my good. I can watch those anytime, anywhere, pick up wherever it's at, and have no problem watching all the way through and not move. And there were some good ones thrown out there. Like, would you rank Forrest Gump as a top 5 movie?
Yeah, I mean,
you say that, but then I can name 10 movies that are better that deserve to be there more than Forrest Gump does. So when you start talking about top 5, and that's not
there's not a lot of top 5s, you know.
Yeah. And of course you leave out the Citizen Kane. I don't want to watch Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
And it's rated the greatest movie of all time.
Yeah.
But I have no desire. If I ever did watch it, I can promise you I would not watch it twice. But there's so many movies that I can watch multiple times. And it doesn't bother me, and I love it. And like I said, it's the Matrix movies, the John Wick movies. My really guilty pleasure on movies, and you laugh at this, is the Fast and Furious whole franchise. I love it. 10 sucks, but the overall franchise, y'all made 10 movies. Actually, is it 10 or 11? Yeah, the Hobbs and Shaw.
They're on. Hobbs and Shaw making 11. Yeah,
but it's a dumb show, but it's. I guess it's almost background noise, but I can watch it anytime. Same thing. Watch it. But then you start going to real good movies, like Clint Eastwood, The Unforgiven, might be one of the best Western movies of all time.
Yeah.
And then you go back to the older stuff, The Pale Rider and all that was fantastic.
Yeah. So I think it goes into a genre thing for me. Because
I can see
movies are really mood Like you got to be in certain moods for certain movies, right? So, is Tropic Thunder a top 5 movie of all time? No, but by golly, it's in my top 5 of comedies that if I want to laugh, I'm putting on Tropic Thunder.
Yes. And then we swapped over. I think how it started, we were talking about the James Gunn going to DC and the Marvel, how they set the bar so high at Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Which the bar Marvel set, I don't know if anybody can ever surpass that as far as comic book movies recreated. I mean, you got to think the Avengers Endgame might be one of the best movies. Like it might be like my top movie of all time. It is fantastic.
Yeah.
And just the cinematography with it, the music, the way they build the suspense and stuff up with it is just. And everybody's like, "Oh, it's a dumb comic book movie." Like, if you watch it, there's actually a lot of ebbs and flow and a lot of moving parts in them. You got to pay attention to know what's going on. And then, of course, you go away from those. The whole Lord of the Rings franchise, I love it. I watched them.
Great.
And if you watch, it's 6 movies total, right, with The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, and it's like 18 hours of viewing pleasure there. So, it's a lot. And we were talking about that, and I said, I'm changing it back a little bit. You go back to, because obviously the market's ripping here for no reason.
Yeah. I'm just taking longs. I'm just throwing longs. They're working out. I got 200 on an XFA, 200 on another XFA, 1,500 on a combine. Close that out.
There you go.
So we can just keep talking movies. Keep talking movies.
There's a lot of recently. So my son kind of missed the Harry Potter movie stage. He went straight to the Harry Potter book stage. He likes to read, so he's read all the books. I, of course, have not read all the books, but I hear recently, probably last year and a half, I think I told you I watched all the Harry Potters, like watched them in order.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, I've been down. It's got a good story. It's not a kid movie. You think it's just a kid movie, but you dig into a little more. It's a lot of moving parts in there, and you go that way. I mean, it's just, and I don't know, Roy, if it's so much genres or if it's genres and themes, I guess. Because I have different comic book movies that I would rank different than I would rank like other movies. So
right, the fantasy theme versus Shawshank Redemption. That is, how can you compare Shawshank Redemption to Harry Potter? Right, it's
like, I read all about Shawshank Redemption, one of the greatest movies ever.
Yeah, the greatest movies ever. Right, it's such a great movie, and I was a sucker for Green Mile as well. One of the better movies. That
Green Mile
tore my soul out. But and then you get into like the more gory, kind of edgy ones, right? Your Tarantino films.
Yes, that's what we were talking about that last night. You go, so do you put Quentin Tarantino in his own category? Because his movies are different than everybody else's movies.
Yeah.
I think so. Here's my little rant on Quentin Tarantino. Everybody loves Reservoir Dogs. I thought Reservoir Dogs sucked.
I didn't think it was amazing. I liked it, but I didn't think it was amazing.
Let me rephrase that. I don't know if I say it sucked. I just didn't think it was what everybody built it up to be.
Yeah.
But a lot of people hated on Pulp Fiction. I thought Pulp Fiction was fantastic.
Yeah.
And you had pretty much same characters from Reservoir Dogs came over. I mean, different people played, of course, but Tarantino's brain, it just works so much different than everybody else's brain.
Yeah.
And what's the cartel Sicario? What's what I'm talking
about? Which one?
It's got Del Toro dude or whatever in it. Sicario.
Oh yes, yeah. Sicario.
That movie is fantastic. great. And then you go to the underrated movies. What's the movie with? It's got Ryan. Is it Ryan Gosling and it's like made in the 70s, but it was like a newer movie. It's got Ryan Gosling.
It was
What's his name?
DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. No,
you're thinking of a different one. We're thinking of two different ones. Crap.
There's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Margot Robbie, and
she is so fine.
yeah, the Aussie Australian.
The Nice Guys. I love that movie.
Yeah, Nice Guys is fantastic. Yes.
There you go. 1 and 2. 1 is fantastic. 2 is okay. It's not as good as 1.
Yeah. Nice Guys is just top notch.
I would put Nice Guys probably in my top 5 movies. Because it's just sneaky good. It is sneaky good. And both of them play their character. Even the girl, they play their character so good.
Sneaky one for me. I don't know. It's one of these dumb comedies. There's 2 dumb comedies I can always watch. Is obviously I mentioned Tropic Thunder, but I won't mention that one. Is Other Guys with Wahlberg and Farrell and Michael Keaton, and then just lost my train of thought. Just lost my train of thought. Step Brothers.
I was going to say Step Brothers.
Yeah, Step Brothers.
Look, Step Brothers is hard to beat. It is funny.
Well, because you know what you're walking into, right? You're like,
rubbed his balls all over the drum set. The greatest thing for me is they hate each other, right? And then they became best friends. And then we're going to make our beds into bunk beds. And I saw a thing the other day. It was one of the deleted scenes that somebody showed, and it was they were wanting to open a present. Like, can we open a present early? Like, no. Please, let's open a present. Like, just like kids, right? The dad, and this is like, I guess it's toward the end of the marriage. The dad's like, just do whatever the hell you want to do. I'm going to the bar and just get something walks out. And they're like, he said yes, he said yes, he said yes. Like, you never know what you're getting on the stream. Yeah, so that I'm gonna tell you a sneaky. So let's back to the comic book movies, but you got to watch the Justice League, the Snyder Cut.
Snyder Cut. It's long.
It is long, but and I was telling them last night, one thing that you miss out on, like with the regular cut, is there's so much backstory. I was like, if you watch the Snyder Cut, you relate to Cyborg more because you see more about what Cyborg went through and what he did and all that stuff that's not in the movie, right? And by cutting that out, and I understand you had to cut out to make, because the movie was 4 hours, I think, without on the Snyder Cut. And you cannot release a 4-hour movie to a theater. Just that's not going to work. But if you have time to watch it, it is like watching a completely different movie.
Okay. Well, the thing DC always struggled with was character development. That was something Marvel did very good in their, phases. Is they allowed each character to get developed in their own movies, in their own way. And so, if this can solve that, then I think it would go a long way for DC.
There's just, I think this is why you can't actually just give a definite top 5, because there's so many movies that are just so. Hell, I would struggle to do a top 50, I think. Because who are you leaving out? Like, you get to a point, you're like, oh, these movies are so good. Like, how are we judging them, or how are we ranking them to do them out?
Yeah.
I'm a Star Wars. I love Star Wars. Like,
Star Wars.
I never really got into Star Trek as much, but the Star Wars movies are fantastic. Like, and one of the guys was talking to me last night, like, what, you even put like the prequels in there? I said, every one. I will look there. I will watch every Star Wars movie from front and love it. And it's like I watched it brand new all over again.
Yeah, so I was surprised. Did you ever finish Obi-Wan?
The series, no.
The series? Yeah. You should. It's actually not terrible. If you
I
like
the series.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Some of these series they drag out way too damn much.
Well, they've got pretty this may be controversial. They do bad casting on the characters.
Sometimes,
and
yes.
You're like, what? This too much, right? But
when they used to do fantastic casting on the characters. I mean, you look.
Yeah.
Can you imagine anybody else being Leia or Luke or
right?
Han Solo besides
Han Solo? Yeah.
See, a lot of people hated on the Solo movie. I actually thought it was a great movie. I really liked it.
I actually never watched it. I still got to watch that one.
Really? I thought it was very good.
I never watched it.
And then
I think it came out around the time my son was born, so I was just occupied.
That makes sense.
There's
just so many. There's so many great movies out there, and we're not even counting on like the greatest Christmas movies. They were like Die Hard and Christmas Vacation. Like,
did you see the recent Christmas movie? I think it came out last year. It was set in the 80s with was it Neil Patrick Harris?
You could. Then you said, have you seen the recent Christmas movie? The answer was no.
It was a comedy. It's a comedy set in the 80s. You would actually like it. It's actually pretty good. They're basically trying to get their hands on a Nintendo. The kids.
Okay.
It's
well, Roy, I think our movie talk we have ran everybody off.
That's fine.
About time we call it anyway.
Yeah, no, we've had a good day. No point of killing it even more. What was this?
What is?
Yeah, 8-bit Christmas. 8-bit Christmas, 2021. So 4 years ago.
Your boy
They got a big drop here.
To go back and trade the other guys again. In our other chat over, I don't know why he decided to do that. But good job.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, we did good. Yeah.
Thank y'all. Thank everybody. Appreciate it. See y'all Monday.
See you